Your mind is limitless. The possibilities are endless. Awaken Your Mind Magic shows you how you can dream limitlessly and live your life on a new level. Susan Kathleen speaks with ordinary people who are living extraordinary lives using the power of their mind. Abundance, prosperity, and success. There are no limits to what you can dream. Join Susan Kathleen on a journey into your dreams, making a difference and living life on your own terms. This is Awaken Your Mind Magic.
Hello and welcome. It's Susan Kathleen here, and I have a wonderful guest on board today, Wendy Kier. She is my mentor and has been my coach in how to create a signature program, which I am now running as a successful program, thanks to Wendy. She is one of UK's leading virtual summit and online conference experts, hosting virtual summits, telesummits, webinars, and interview series. Not only that, she is extremely generous in social media, on Facebook, where she offers free 5-day challenges. And I can tell you now, she has uplifted many people, including me, through these challenges and is extremely generous with her time. Hello, Wendy, and welcome to Awaken Your Mind Magic.
Hey, Susan, thanks for having me.
Pleasure. And Wendy, you are speaking to me from Bali while I'm sitting in Brisbane, Australia. Is that so?
It's amazing, isn't it? Technology is incredible.
It is, Wendy. And what I love about you is your inspiration for other people out there. You call us your divas, which I love. And you have inspired me to be a digital nomad, a person who has the ability to work from anywhere in the world and keep on doing the things I love. So please, Wendy, let us know a little bit more about yourself, your signature story. I love it, and I would love for you to share it, because the empowerment you've actually put out there into this world of how limitless you are, how you've changed your life around to an incredibly positive life, a happy life, and one where you have, well, I know in the last year I've been following you, you've been traveling all over the show. So let us know exactly where you started from the word dot on your signature program, and how you help so many people worldwide.
Okay, let's think of a place to start. Okay, let's start with that. I, as a young adult, up until quite recently, really, I had really, believe it or not, lost my voice. I felt like I had no voice. I felt disempowered. I felt uncomfortable speaking up for myself. I was very good at supporting other people, nurturing other people, but when it actually came to embracing myself, showing up as who I truly am, I really struggled with it. And if I unpick that, if I go down another layer, that's because when I was very young, I was taken into care, like lots of people are. Taken into care, parents were both alcoholics, and I unfortunately experienced the care system longer than I should have done. So went in at 2.5, repeatedly fostered in and out. I think I had over 30 foster placements, which were all pretty traumatic for a child, which really created, abandonment, relationship issues. And this is, I think, is where I really I think my voice was removed from a very, very early age from all of those experiences. So came out of care. Sorry, Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
When you say your voice was removed and you lost your voice, can you explain that to the audience?
Yeah, it's like when I think the best way to explain it is, because I'm sure a lot of people have had this experience, is that say maybe you're at a team meeting at work or you're in some form of formal situation, and they go round the table and they ask you to say who you are, where you're from, something about yourself. And literally, as soon as that process started for me, I would feel sick, I would start to sweat, I would feel frightened. And, I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to actually say who I was, where I was from, even though there was nothing wrong with that. It was that type of fear to share who I was, even though it was a relatively safe space.
Must have been very scary for a little girl of that, tiny little girl, and with 30 up to 30 placements, it must have been terribly distressing for a small child to have to try and understand the rejection of being sent to so many different places. How did you cope with that, Wendy?
Well, I don't think I did, to be honest. I came out, I was adopted. That adoption broke down when I was 14 and a half. I then, at 15 and a half, was thrown out into the big wide world. And you are already in survival by this point. So you're living day to day, hour to hour, second to second. So you go into survival mode, and you go into survival mode until you feel safe enough to be able to bring some of those barriers down. Well, it's not so much the barriers. I think it's really about waking up, really taking responsibility for what's happened in your past, and waking up and realizing that actually life is just an illusion. It just depends how you want to play the game. What you believe, what you see around you is created by your beliefs. So if you change your beliefs, you start to see different things in front of you. I'm not sure I've explained that very well.
I do understand there, Wendy, where you have empowered yourself into understanding that whatever you create is of your creation and how you can move forward.
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying, so
Yeah.
that I can understand better?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
That's exactly it. So I've been plodding on in life, as you do. Then all of a sudden, something happens, and then you just get a little spark, a little insight. You don't have to feel that you're in survival mode anymore. You don't have to feel like you're going on automatic pilot, which is what we do all day, all week, all year. You can break some of those habits.
And Wendy, what I would love the audience to understand as well is, with all of this adversity, on top of this, you have extreme dyslexia as well. So to be able to, and you are a highly intelligent woman, to be able to get through school with all of this disruption in your life, you managed to survive there as well. And this, in its own, on its own, dyslexia is a podcast on its own. So you are an amazing person to have gone through adoption, rejection, through many foster homes, and then on top of all of that, coping with all of this with dyslexia. Can you explain to people as well how you managed to cope with that and get through life until now?
I think being dyslexic, you build an awful lot of resilience. You find way around things constantly. You're always, if something doesn't work, you look for another way around it, or under it, or over it, or through it. You don't take the first thing that you're presented with. The brain sort of just finds another glorious way of having a look at the problem, seeing what it is, seeing if there's another way around it, if there's another way to look at it. That builds resilience. So you can get up by doing that. I think you can get up, as painful as it is, because it's not easy, you can get up time and time again. So I think that resilience muscle, a lot of people don't actually have, but you can learn it. You can absolutely learn it.
So in this means of what you managed to do and cope with, this has actually empowered you with understanding people so well, and to be able to uplift and help them with where they find themselves in their business as well.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to go into coaching? What had you been trained to do prior to this, Wendy?
Interestingly enough, because I think I had a lot of unresolved issues, I didn't understand my past, I was pretty much traumatized. What I did was I got a job helping young people at risk. And, you know, when I look at it now, I understand that was about me just trying to figure out what the hell had happened to me. So I reinstitutionalized myself as a young adult and stayed working with young people at risk in lots of different settings for about 20 years until I just had enough. I couldn't cope anymore. I didn't have a breakdown, but I became severely depressed, anxious, had to take time off work. I just got to a point of, I just can't do this anymore.
Well, it must have been very stressful for you, reliving your youth through the youth, and the exceptional courage that you have working with them like this for 20 years. Makes me understand where you felt that you needed a break from this. When you did this, Wendy, did you go on to taking time out, taking a rest, or what was your next decision and plan to get to where you would change your life?
Yeah, so at work, you know how it goes. They make you go and see a doctor, go and see occupational health, and interestingly enough, not many people know this, but a few more people will know it now, is they basically said that I would need a couple of years of institutionalized therapy in a group setting to help me at that time. And what we did was we got a flight to Thailand instead and went traveling for a couple of years. Because there was no way I was going to be institutionalized again of my, So
Yeah,
we packed our bags.
voluntarily this time. We weren't going to do that.
No, I was off. My therapist.
And when you say we, was it you and a friend, or
me and Steve.
Oh, your partner?
Yeah. The therapist I was working with at the time, who isn't part of the system, said, "Oh my God, they must be absolutely mad." And we just looked at one another and we're just like, wow. Yeah. Get on that plane.
I think that was the best thing you ever did. Wendy, just going back a little bit, I remember a story, actually watching a video that you made and it was on YouTube, and where you actively decided you couldn't face the public on stage.
Oh yeah.
And I was so impressed with how you managed to get around that and what you decided to do to going forward. Would you share with the audience what you did, how you found yourself in feeling physically ill, not being able to speak? You'd been engaged in a public a speaking event, and where you went from there, and how that changed your life into becoming an online speaker and coach.
Yeah, so it's interesting, isn't it? When you're in business, you're always told, if you do this, and if you do this, and if you do this, and speaking is definitely at the forefront, especially when we work for ourselves, of things that we should be doing, whether that's on or offline. So, I went to Toastmasters for over a year. I went to the Professional Speaking Association for over a year. And I tried giving it a go, speaking from the stage. And the last time I did it, and I swore I would never do it, this is when I sort of had another mini breakdown. Oh, sounds like I've had quite a few now.
Well, you're allowed.
Yeah,
Many of us have had mini
I'm
breakdowns. And
I
large ones.
yeah. Well, I had an anxiety attack, and that anxiety attack was horrendous. I had to ring Steve. He had to come and pick me up, had to come and rescue me. And around the same time, I was asked by somebody in America to take part in a virtual summit, which is about speaking live online rather than from the stage,
Yes.
even though you have a very big audience.
Yes.
And I gave it a go, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I just thought, right, I'm not speaking from the stage anymore. I'm just going to speak online and have a global audience of my own, rather than being terrified and it not working online, pushing myself to do something that actually was making me sick, to something that I really actually enjoy doing. I love talking online because I think because of the experiences in care and abuse, I have this barrier
Yes.
away from people. I can still give,
Yeah.
but they're not in my energetic space. If that makes any sense.
No, it totally does. Because I've obviously had the experience of speaking with you online, and it's extremely intimate and friendly, and it's as if we're having a chat face to face. And you have this wonderful ability to do this, and I've also am aware that you're the founder of the UK's first online speaking club, the Virtual Speaking Pros for aspiring speakers. And how do you go about, or how do people go about finding you in order to be able to learn with you and find out more how they can do what you can do? Because I know when I first started watching you, I thought, I want what she's got. And that's how I ended up getting into contact with you, and eventually you became my mentor and my coach for the best part of nearly 9 months.
Yeah.
And thanks to you, I now have a signature program and have the ability to be able to help so many people out there as well. So how would people find you with your virtual speaking pros, and also how to find you so that they can actually train with you?
Yeah, I think the best place to reach out is I'm just creating a brand new website, which is called femaleconsultantsonline.com. So that will be up very shortly. Or you can find me at getclientsonline.co.uk.
And tell us more, Wendy, of the process of your coaching, your different courses, how long the programs are, and how people can also find you to be able to um, on social media as well, with some of your social media addresses as well, because I would love for as many people to be able to engage with you.
Would you like me to send you the links afterwards, just so I can make sure they're
Yes,
accurate?
you're
Yeah?
welcome. And also, I'm also very happy for you to actually speak about them as well. Um, if you'd like to share more with us about some of your courses that you help people with, like your virtual summit success plan, and how to be successful virtual summit speaker, and these sort of things. If you can just gloss over basically what people can actually achieve with you, because you are so versatile, Wendy. I think it's very important for people to know just how limitless you've become from where you were to what you're doing now with your incredible life. And then I want you to go into letting us know more about your traveling and what you do.
Do you want me to talk about the signature system? Because that's the one
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
focused
wonderful
on.
one.
Yeah, that's the one we've
Yes,
worked on together. So it makes
yes,
sense
you
to
have.
do.
Yes.
It's a signature system is, when people hear the word signature system, they often think of it as a course. A signature
Yes.
system, it's not a course in its purest
Mhm.
essence. A signature system is really about your personal signature, about how you want to show up into the world, show up in the world, and what it is that you want your business, the experience it is that you want to take your clients through. So it's like your business DNA, your personal DNA. No one can copy it. It is unique to you. It is about attracting the right people to work with you because they want to understand how you've recovered, how you've got through a certain situation, how you can make things better in your life, whether that's in personal life or whether that's in business, whether it's about, tripling your profits in business or whether it is about, reaching 50 and actually stepping into a new life, because the life you're in now, to be fair, might feel a little bit uncomfortable. We get to 50 and we're like,
Yeah,
oh my
absolutely.
God. Oh no, is that it?
What
Oh no, how many years have I got left?
I know you got lots of minutes.
It feels like the clock's going, but
You got
it's
lots of
like,
minutes. I
oh
can
shit.
listen to you, and I know everybody else will.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's about working with people at a deep transformational space rather than, in a course, often what we do is we put a sticking plaster on and then we try to sell them into the next thing. But the reality of that working is very, very slim. Unless you have a high volume of numbers, it is never going to work. So it's really about helping you to figure out what it is that you really want for your life and for your business, what your skills are in creating, and then creating a message that fits the market that people are drawn to, and then creating the offer around your skills and expertise, the things that you really love doing. I mean, really love doing. And these are the best parts of you. It's not like the whole shopping cart. It's just fine-tuned to the very best bits of you to give that quality and that personal connection with your client. Then it's about selling it. Then it's basically rinse and repeat. So
Yeah.
you're stepping into more of who you truly are, which is about really owning your voice. And that sounds easy, but actually it's not. It's not as easy as people think it is, because
And I can tell you that. I
yeah,
know. I
it's
went through
not.
the training with you. You discover yourself, and sort of. I think you hit me over the head with a wet fish a few times as well, Wendy, where I had to discover myself and speak my truth.
Yeah,
And that's what I love about, and your course is called Impact, isn't it?
yeah,
Where you really do mentor women who are female entrepreneurs who are truly committed, um, uh, and want to be in this established marketplace, and they where you help them with their business. And many of us at the time when we find you, because of course the law of attraction helps us find the right people at the right time, many of us are struggling, and we can't attract uh, the right people, and you actually put us into a position where we attract the flow of premium clients.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's. I think there is just so much noise that a lot of the time, if we just strip back and got back to actually people are buying us, people are buying the experiences that we've had, that knowledge, that wisdom, the insight. They're paying us to take us on that journey. And to do that, they really have to know that we've got their back. That this isn't just an online course that you're going to dump someone into and then you're going to like turn up for 20 minutes every week and go, have you got any questions? This isn't that. This is working with somebody closely.
Yes,
Deeply.
and you do it one-on-one. It's not in a group. You take time out to really discover your client, because I know this from experience, and get under their skin and know that you, with your passion, you know that you want to actually do the very best for that person. So as I say, I know this from experience, and I'm very grateful to you, Wendy, because you pulled me out from being one of many thousands of coaches into somebody who has a unique signature program that is uniquely mine. It is mine and mine alone, that I can actually then share with other people and empower them. And I appreciate that so much. What I also love about you, Wendy, is your passion for travel and life. After all that's happened to you throughout your life, nothing has held you back. Everything that you do is with the power of positivity, and the knowledge that you can actually awaken your mind magic and do anything you like and love. Another thing that you taught me was about not having a stinky money mindset.
Oh, yeah.
Do explain to everyone about that, because I think many of us have money paradigms and are held back by that. And once you discover through your wonderful 5-day challenge how you can be uplifted and start to love your money like a child, do let everybody know that it is possible.
Yeah.
I discovered it's possible.
It really is. It comes back to what we were talking about earlier on a little bit,
Yeah.
which was, what we believe we create. And I'm a classic example with that, because I believed when I first started this business that no one would pay my fees, no one would want to work with me. I couldn't imagine charging a couple of £100 for someone to pay to work with me. I had all of these false assumptions that I believed to be true, which were just created from my upbringing, from coming from a place of lack. Now, you cannot run a business with a lack mindset. I've only managed because I'm incredibly resilient, and I can get up and I can get up and I can get up. Not many people would be able to do that. They would have quit a long time ago. Suddenly, I woke up. I think I worked with a money mindset coach. And this is where I started to realize that what I believed wasn't true. And as soon as I got that, and that wasn't in a matter of, years, that experience was in a matter of days and weeks. I went from selling £37 for a membership website, which was the Speaker Pro, which was very hard to sell, to enrolling premium clients. Today, my fees are now £5,000 to work with me one-to-one. And people happily pay that price rather than pay £37 for a membership website. So this is two different states of money belief. I believe people will pay me £5,000 to work with me because that is what I'm worth, that is my value. I think that's a fair price for what it is that I'm offering. So people buy. When I didn't even believe that people would pay £37, I struggled. Oh my God, did I struggle. It was such hard work.
It's very interesting that where you actually devalue yourself into believing that you're not worth that that place, and not allowed to ask for that amount of money, and it is all ingrained in you at childhood.
Yeah.
And it's very important for the people out there listening to understand that many of their paradigms are brought in from where you've been almost brainwashed as children into believing that you're not worth something, or that you shouldn't say you're beautiful, or you shouldn't say you love yourself first before you love anybody else, because it's vain, and including money. That money is an energy, and it's like everything, Wendy, isn't it? Um, Without understanding it as an energy, and that you have a right to ask your value. And because I mean, you've had years of experience in training, why wouldn't you ask £5,000 for a program that's going to uplift and empower so many people out there once they actually put it into action, and keep on using your advice? What I also love about you, Wendy, is that the coaching doesn't stop there at the end of the signature program
You
or
wish
any
you
of the
did it
other
though.
programs.
You wish it did though, didn't you?
I did.
Here she
I
is.
just sort of like, oh, I need time. And then you said to me, okay, if you're not going to listen to me, I'm not coaching you anymore. And it gave me a big wake-up call. I thought, oh, I can't mess around with this lady. She's holding me accountable. And you did. And then and here I am interviewing you. We're still friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Wendy, the other thing is that you are so generous with your time, because the coaching, once we finish the course, you still on Facebook have you keep contact with all of your clients, and you still give us value, where you still giving us mini courses, and 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 we're still going through with you. So we've become part of your family. And tell us more about Thailand and what's happening in June, because I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So
I haven't. It's a good excuse for me to go to Thailand.
yeah, exactly. So the 5th of June it is. So me and Steve have been together for 20 years, and we thought it was time to tie the knot, as you do. So we're going to get married in Thailand on the beautiful island of Koh Chang.
Congratulations!
Thank
Yay! And when you decided, and I'm going to go back a little bit, when you decided that you weren't going to go back into therapy, your therapy was going to be to escape and get away from the cold, wet mud island, and go and live in the sun. What was your basic plan, and where were you at that time? Financially, mentally, obviously it wasn't so hot, but what happened with your mindset there, where you were awakened? You just thought, to heck with this, I'm off.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to remember that far back. All I remember is that, we got the diagnosis and we were just like, no. What are the alternatives? And then obviously we just bit the bullet and went traveling. I can't actually remember.
You went off and you went traveling.
Yeah.
I think I remember sort of seeing you. One minute you were in UK, and the next minute you were off in Thailand. And where have you traveled to since you escaped?
Yeah.
Which countries have you been to?
I mean, this time around, we decided to leave this time around. So we've been out about 1.5 years because the business has been going well, and it gives me the freedom to work anywhere I want. So it made no sense to stay at home when, I could work from anywhere. So we went to Thailand first. And then where did we go after that? I've been to so many places now.
Cambodia?
So we've been to Cambodia, the Philippines, South Korea, Laos, now currently in Bali. We'll be heading back to Thailand for the wedding. I think that's it.
Digital nomad, Wendy.
Yes.
You can work anywhere in the world with one of Wendy's signature programs, because I know I can do it. And I've been watching her. I mean, as we mentioned at the beginning, she's chatting to me from Bali, and I'm in Brisbane visiting my family at the moment. In fact, I went to see a really good friend in Sydney last week and worked from there, and here I am. And this is because I had the courage from Wendy, who told me she was not going to coach me if I didn't pull myself together and get on with my signature program. And I did finish it. And I got my first client within 3 weeks of launching it. The other thing that Wendy teaches us is online speaking, where we learn to have the courage to get out there and talk to a screen and chat to people on Facebook. And we learn how to be, like Wendy is, engaging and have the ability to pull our audience in from the other side of a screen. And I appreciate Wendy for that. Recently, I was on a virtual summit with Wendy as well. Tell us more about that, Wendy.
Yeah, so it's what we were talking about, wasn't it? About, why did I stop doing speaking from the stage? A virtual summit is similar to a conference, apart from you don't get to mingle or network or sit in a room and watch the speaker. A virtual summit is where the host interviews, say, maybe 20 people around a specific topic. People come and join that virtual summit by giving their email address. They go onto your database, and then you have a new community of people in your network. People call it list building. I personally don't like that term. I think it depersonalizes. Actually, that's a group of humans. It is that you are now connected to, rather than a list of people. Yeah. So it's a way to build your community. It's a way to significantly increase your visibility. Like, it's the fastest way to do it online. The fastest way to do it, because everybody is marketing you at the same time. So you can reach thousands of people.
Yeah, they do. Because from my experience as well, the other attendees, the other speakers, were very supportive and were wonderful at putting it out there that you were a speaker at the time. And like you say, we reached many people internationally through the summit, and being able to use our voice out there in the internet as you have trained us to do. So what else could you tell the audience that you believe is probably one of your most important life experiences, Wendy?
Gosh, that's a question and a half. Most important life experience. It is that thing about what you believe you create. Now, Nina's a good friend of yours, and it's taken me a long time to accept that as an adult anyway, as a child, you don't have much choice, but as an adult, you do have choice. I remember saying to Nina, "Do you really believe that what you think you create?" And it's been very hard for me to get my head around that because of the stuff that's happened to me as a child. But as an adult, you absolutely, once you're awake and you're aware of what your thoughts are, it's then within your power to change what you believe. And you mentioned the word limitless earlier on. I think that's how you can create a limitless life, a limitless lifestyle, is by working with either, initially you'll have to work with someone else because it'll be too difficult to pull out, because you need someone to mirror back what you're thinking. But later on, I've started a new project at the moment whereby if I have negative thoughts throughout the day and I catch them, I'm writing them down. And then I'm writing the opposite. So we call that the shadow side. And then I'm writing the opposite of the light, of what it is that I have actually done today, rather than letting all those negative thoughts take over. So that's how, I think that is the one thing that I'm working on at the moment that I can think of, because it's in the here and now, that has been the most powerful for me, is to wake up and realize that actually I don't have to be a victim to, and I'm 50 now, I don't have to be a victim to what happened to me 48 years ago, or it's taken that long. It's that bit, it's that piece of waking up.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Namaste. Thank you.
That's Awaken Your Mind Magic for another week. If anything you've heard today has really impacted you and you want to know more, or you would just like to connect with me, then visit my website, awakenyourmindmagic.com, and reach out for a free one-on-one discovery session with me.
Silver on the outside. Silver on the outside. Gold on the inside. Silver on the outside. Gold on the inside.
Tune in next week, where I'll be discussing more tools to unlock your dreams and live a limitless life that you would truly love to live. I'm Susan Kathleen, and this has been Awaken Your Mind Magic.